The plot thickens with Representative Ilhan Omar. Last week, on December 10th, Border Czar Tom Homan said that investigators were working to determine if Ilhan Omar had committed immigration fraud by lying on her marriage certificate, because we all know the story about I went through the timeline of the brother, and she's on her third marriage now. She really loves getting married here in America, which as a Muslim, I'm pretty sure is frowned upon. The marrying the brother thing, actually, I don't think is that's frowned upon in Muslim world. But anywho, here is Tom Homan on looking into Ilhan Omar for marriage fraud.
I just got advised by a fraud investigator the other day on that. I asked the question, who reviewed the file, and says there was immigration fraud involved. This fraud investigator, who I know personally, one of the best fraud investigators in HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, said there's no doubt he reviewed the file. So I'm running that down this week, matter of fact, and we'll see.
Well, yesterday, Ilhan Omar actually responded to Tom Homan, and here's what she had to say.
Congresswoman, can I ask you your response to Tom Homan saying you're under investigation for immigration, possible immigration violations? Just any response you have to what he's saying in the public.
I have a response because I don't know what they'll be investigating.
So you don't think they would find anything?
Absolutely not.
Why do you think they keep bringing this up in the media?
They're sick.
Oh, they're sick. I love. She's like, I don't even know what they would be investigating. Oh, that you married your brother? I think that's pretty obvious. I think it's weird that you say I don't know what they'd be investigating. I think a response from someone who hadn't just married their freaking brother would be like, yeah, I mean, this guy was very clearly not my brother. They're welcome to investigate that. They will very quickly find that that's gross and it's not my brother. That's what it seems to be what a normal, Stephen, am I off there? That seems to be what a normal person would say in response to, hey, did you marry your brother?
Yeah, she definitely looked really nervous during that entire thing, and seems like she's going to have a lot to be nervous about.
I would say so, because the fraud might go way deeper than the marriage fraud and the marrying the brother thing and committing immigration. There's a lot of fraud to talk about here, because A.J. Kern, this is a Minnesota conservative and former congressional candidate, has uncovered information about Ilhan Omar that I'm just telling you needs further investigation. We need a lot of investigation into this woman, because in the best case scenario, it could lead to her deportation. Bye-bye. We're going to put you on the, what's the thing, Stephen, with the button that I want to press?
The catapult.
Catapult. Thank you. I always forget that word. We'll put you on the catapult.
We need to come up with something better for her, though.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that. It is a long way. It is a long way back to Somalia. How about if we'll put her in an airplane with a parachute, and once we get near Somalia, we're just dropping the floor out from under her and saying, pull, Ilhan, pull! Pull now! I'd prefer that. Anywho, in the best case scenario, it could lead to her deportation, or at the very least, expulsion from the house. So I want to break down what the new information could mean and how we need our leaders to actually do something about it. Act. Look into it. Where there's smoke, there's fire, guys. How many more things can this woman be accused of before you guys look into it and find something? Here it is. Omar was caught lying about her birth year, and Minnesota legislative records corroborate that, apparently. This is an archived version of Ilhan Omar's page in the Minnesota Legislative Reference Library listed her birth date. It says October 4th, 1981, but an updated version of the page lists her birth year as 1982. Okay, well, could be nothing, but what this also could mean is that it would call into question the legitimacy of her citizenship, actually. So I'll explain the three pathways for a foreign-born child to become a citizen, which is what we're told that she did. But first, I want you to hear Ilhan Omar, in her own words, describing when and how she became a citizen. This was a September 2018 interview with Mehdi Hassan on his podcast, Deconstructed. And this is what Ilhan Omar said about her citizenship.
When did you end up becoming a citizen? How old were you when you became a citizen?
Yeah, so I became a citizen actually before I turned 18. My father became a citizen, and so I got my citizenship through that process.
Okay. It was actually her father who got citizenship, and she got it through her father's process. She got it through that process. Okay, well, there's 3 pathways to citizenship for a foreign-born child. Number 1 is acquisition. Well, that wouldn't apply to Ilhan Omar because neither of her parents were U.S. citizens when she was born in Somalia. All right, so cross that one off the list. Number 2 is the derivation of citizenship, which requires foreign-born children to turn 18 on or after February 27th, 2001. Well, you can check that one off the list also because it would not apply to Ilhan because she would have been older than 18, even if we used her possibly fake birth year of 1982. So that one also would not apply. Number 3, application for citizenship under Section 322 of the Immigration and Naturalization Act. Now pay attention. This is the ding, ding, ding. This is the one that matters because Ilhan Omar's family first arrived in the United States in 1995, which means 2000 would be the first year her father would be eligible for citizenship. So if Omar was born in 1981, she would have been 18 years old up until October 2000 and 19 years old after October 2000, meaning she, if that's her birthday, was an adult and not eligible for this path of citizenship. If that was her birthday, she was not eligible for the only path of citizenship she would have been eligible for at that time. However, by changing her birth year to 1982, she would then on paper be 17 years old before October 2000. And then it all makes sense. What Ilhan Omar just said would all make sense if she's changing her birth year to meet that criteria. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting that seems to be wherever Ilhan Omar goes, scandals follow? Would it surprise you at all that a woman who married her brother to keep her brother in the United States so he could go to school here, would it surprise you at all that that same woman might have committed fraud in becoming a citizen in the first place? Would it surprise you that a woman who doesn't respect our rule of law at all, doesn't seem to, want to abide by the Constitution, doesn't really like American culture or law and order or tradition or anything involving America, would it really surprise you to hear that she could have actually just lied to get citizenship? Here is what I am telling our leaders. House Ethics Committee, attention Chairman Michael Guest of the House Ethics Committee. Knock, 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 knock. We need you to open up an investigation. Find out when Ilhan Omar was born. Was it 1981 or 1982? Because as it turns out, as we just laid out for you, as it turns out, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. Did she legitimately apply for citizenship or did she not? Because if she didn't, she should not be here. If they lied on the forms, she should not be here. Could it have been a clerical error? Sure. Of course. It could have been a clerical error. I mean, listen, oopsies, that's a typo that's very easily, oopsies, oops, I fat fingered it. But with this woman in particular who happens to know every Somali who committed all of this taxpayer fraud in Minnesota, she happens to be best friends with all of them. It's this woman. This is the woman that the oopsie happened with. This is the woman. It makes a huge difference, guys. Attention, House Republicans. Every single one of the 220 Republicans needs to vote to expel this woman for fraud and corruption that disqualifies her from running for office. Every single one of you. And I'm aware. Don't start typing to me in the comments. I'm aware. Sarah, you need a 2/3 vote in the House to expel. I understand that. That's fine. I understand that we may not be successful in expelling her because of the Democrats. But what it will do is it will put everyone on the record, go on the record, and reveal to our country what a sham our Congress has become. And for that, it will still serve a purpose. Okay? Now we're going to the Department of Justice. Hey, Pam Bondi, if you're not too busy doing your hits on Fox News, might you maybe consider opening an investigation and find out this woman's actual date of birth? Could you maybe do that? I mean, while you're denying the existence of the Epstein files. Oh, no, wait, we're past that. You're now admitting that the Epstein files. Okay, so if you're not too busy, could you maybe just find this out? Because if she lied about her birth date to obtain citizenship, you could actually, as the Department of Justice, bring this case to federal court and argue her citizenship should be revoked under Title 8 of the United States Code. And by the way, Pam, because I know you're really busy on Fox, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I'll go ahead and tell you so you don't have to do the digging. It's Section 1451. You're welcome. Okay? Could you, might you just like go do that, possibly? And we're not done. ICE, hello? Knock, knock, Todd Lyons. If Ilhan Omar is denaturalized, if she can be denaturalized, and if her citizenship can be revoked, then it would be up to you to initiate removal proceedings, which we will be waiting for. I will be waiting for. I am getting really sick and damn tired of watching the people that I love and that I respect go up and talk about law and order and about how we have to have it, and then watch things like this happen right in front of me. Watch the corruption. Watch the Democrats just totally abuse the system. I mean, you've got to be like, it's so fitting that she could do something as ridiculously absurd as marrying her brother, and at the end of the day, not even live in fear that anyone is going to find out. Because apparently, all the world is but a stage. This actually means something to average Americans. This actually means something to me. It actually means something that if she abused the system, if she married her brother, if she lied on her form to get citizenship, if she lied about, if she committed, was part of all of this taxpayer fraud, like, it's just too much. It's just too much. And by the way, you already should denaturalize her for just saying out loud that she represents Somalian interests. She signed a form saying she wouldn't. What is the point of getting up and talking about law and order if you don't actually care about it, if you don't actually intend on doing the hard and heavy lifting in order to get us there? All of these people that I just mentioned, you are on notice now. It is up to you. Do you care about law and order? Do you care about corruption? Do you care about our immigration system being completely used and abused? If you do, Michael Guest. Knock, knock. Pam Bondi. Knock, knock. House Republicans. Knock, knock. Todd Lyons. Knock, knock. The ball is in your court. We will be watching. Okay? There are many things that you can get her on. If you like, just one, please, for Christmas. Could you do that? We're getting real sick and tired of watching it happen and no accountability. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.